when Yaxel was in here, he said that Ohio State's a good team, but they don't belong in the same conversation as us. What do you think the talent difference is between what you guys have and what Michigan has?
I don't think it's a talent difference. Today there was a better team, but we let the small things affect us today. We didn't rebound was capable only today, so that's a big part of what they do. We're an offensive rebounding team. They give themselves extra possessions. So like when you give up a lot of offensive rebounds to a good team, it's hard to beat them. So that is one area we could get better at versus communicating. And when you don't do those two things at a high level, just a good team, it can get out of hand. So
Christoph, what do you think?
yeah, what you said.
You guys were.
You don't, for me, like, I just take one day at a time. I don't want to put that type of pressure on myself. One day at a time. Tomorrow, just how can I recover better? How can I be the best player for my teammates? How can I be the best practice player I can? And I do the next day. And I do after that. I really don't think about muscle in games because you don't want to put that type of pressure on yourself. I used to before, but I understand that you need to win games. I'm not delusional. I'm not psyching myself out, but we do need to win games. We do need to do the little stuff. We need to communicate at a high level to make the run that we need. And we're very capable. I don't care about anybody else thinks. I don't care about the guys in my locker room, and that's it. I feel like we can get the job done. So
You're obviously the leader of this team. Do you say anything to the team after a loss like this? Will you say anything tomorrow, or do you just, as you said, just show up with the sun rising and try to move forward?
You most definitely got to say something. You can't say nothing unsaid, especially like a loss like this. I feel like we're older and we're mature. We have a real close-knit group. We say how we feel because we're trying to win. You got to take emotion. You got to take everything out of it because that plays a factor. You can get in on emotions, but everybody's trying to win at a very high level. So I feel like we're all gonna figure it out tomorrow. I understand what we need to do, brush it off, and win tomorrow practice. So that's the only goal for now.
At that level, or do you just not look at it that way? Is this a look in the mirror and see them and say, well, that's where we aspire to, and we've got some work to do?
You know, I think right now, especially this time of year, like everything, we have to focus on the internal. Everything that we're doing right now is to be better in the controllables and to make sure that, you know, when we step foot on game day, we're at our best. That we want that to be the best day of the week. That's all we're focused on right now. You know, I think, listen, they're a really good team. I think their depth is a real strength for them. Like, I'm not trying to discredit, you know, them, but we're a good team. Like, we weren't good today. We weren't. Not trying to, again, discredit what they did. You know, they had something to do with that, but I felt like there were too many things that we didn't do well enough that we either knew we needed to do, or, you know, that we have done in a game like this that you can't afford to have that. So we're gonna look kind of inside before we look outside, focus on what we can control in the areas we gotta be better. But there is very much, all right, like this next game, just like this game, is really important. And, you know, we're building something, we're continuing to fight. We didn't fight as hard as we fought all year. I think that was probably something that was maybe just, you know, that was disappointing to me personally. But, you know, listen, we have a good team. We got a big game coming up. I'm not one of those guys that's going to sit here and act like this is just any other game because we lost. It's not the case. All right. I know the importance of this game. Okay. But we got to turn the page after we reflect on why we didn't play at the level we're capable of today, so we can get ready for the next one. We lacked major physicality. And to give you an example, a shot goes up. It's not like we weren't running hard to the rim. The problem was we were running hard to the rim and not running hard to hit somebody and creating contact so we could rebound down the floor. Like, that's not an effort thing. That's a lack of physicality, and that's a lack of attention to detail. So that's where I'm most disappointed. I think is our lack of physicality today. We had that against them the first time, and you know, I think to their credit, they saw some of that, and they, you know, they hit us more than we hit them. And you got to be physical in this game. Got to be really physical in this game. So that's kind of my viewpoint on that right now, just without going back and watching. Yeah, we own what we didn't do right, and talked about that after the game. Our lack of physicality, you know, which has been a real strength for us, it wasn't good enough. That's on us. That's nothing, that no one has anything to do with that but us. Great thing is we can fix that. That's controllable. You know, and again, we have to be honest and identify like why weren't we as physical? What was, you know, what was the reason for that? So we can move on quickly and not let it affect the next game, because rebounding is critical in this league. It is. You have to play physical in this league. We've had success when we do, and we've struggled at times when we don't. And so we're working really hard on it every single day. Rebounding, we're looking at maybe different lineups that could help us with rebounding. But you know, I thought our lack of physicality on the boards, our lack of physicality on the ball at times gave them an advantage, and good teams make you pay more often than not when you do that. So that's something we got to own and get better at for Wednesday.
Adam.
I think we weren't as physical at times today than we were in the first game, and they hit some threes. You know, they had 9, I think, in the first half. You know, so that put the game at a double-digit halftime score. Thought we did a good job, kind of, to make sure it wasn't more than that. But listen, I think we did some things. We got some looks that we wanted. I thought the ball got a little stagnant at times for us. We talked about that, and you know, we had some looks there, but we had a chance to kind of cut it to single digits and get it, you know. And I think we had a couple turnovers in that stretch that, you know, hurt us. So again, I like this group. This group's really close. This group works really hard. This group plays with great effort, and typically plays more physical than we did today. And we can't let that obviously affect, you know, and be the case in the next game.
I guess the question's more of just how this hits for you emotionally, personally, to have this result in the run.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can speak to that certainly. This doesn't feel like, I know this loss counts the same as others in Big Ten play, but this game does mean a great deal to me and us. And so, you know, this will linger with me personally, but you know, I got to make myself move on too, just like I've asked our guys to. So, love this game and the rivalry. It's why I fought to try and get it, because it should be the case. So, you know, yeah, disappointed that we didn't beat them. I know they're good, but I think we are too. And disappointed we didn't beat them, and disappointed in the things that we have been better at that we weren't today.